What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and since it is Halloween season, we are returning to Mobile Suit Gundam Wearwolf. Last time, Rassaid was killed in the cockpit of the Gundam, and everyone slowly starts to get paranoid with one another. Also, I've seen this dude's name translated as Rassaid, Rassaid, and Rashid. We need a consensus. Leto and Talbot decided to team up to work together to solve this mystery. They're going to vote on who they think is the suspect in 1 hour. After a battle, Leto was shot, but she thinks she solved this mystery. This time, Leto gathers everyone as she thinks she knows who the killer is. The suspect runs away, getting killed in the process. And we learn of a familiar revenge story. So let's get into this. 1 hour left until the vote begins. Everyone is on the bridge. Leto has figured it out, and she wants to announce to everyone on this ship what she is about to say. Lycus humors her, which seems to be the captain's only character trait. She's charmingly curious. Yeah, but what does she do? She's charmingly curious. Valley thinks that this is just a waste of time, but the captain allows Leto to speak. She rules out that Rassaid probably wasn't shot from the outside of the cockpit. She also rules out that there isn't someone hiding inside waiting to murder. The logs show that the cockpit was opened and closed 3 times. Once when the body was discovered, second when Lieutenant Rassaid boarded, and third is from the mysterious log 11 hours prior. She believes that someone installed the device to kill him, some gimmick that remotely kills someone. From entry to exit, it was 6 minutes and 20 seconds. It is plenty of time to set up a trap, and she will show them. They head to the Hakate hangar. In software development, depending on your development cycle, each cycle produces what is called a build. This allows testers to isolate a bug much easier. They are loading up the same build that was on the Gundam when Rassaid was murdered. Valley is going out in the Gundam. Talbot monitors on his end. Valley is creeped out sitting where a dead man once sat. After 5 minutes of orbiting the ship, he returns to the deck. When he returns, he is shot, but with a paintball round set up by Leto. He saw the monitor showing someone with a gun, just like Leto. She shows a device that hangs below the cockpit and then retracts under the seat. It hangs due to an electromagnet. This gun essentially functions the same way as the Gundam's ENCOM system functions. Robinson wonders how it knows to fire upon returning to the hangar. She opens up the device to find a gun connected to a microprocessor of the sorts. She says it's remotely triggered. However, Leto and Talbot used Haru for this experiment. She says that this method has one flaw. It leaves the evidence in the cockpit, and getting it out requires one to retrieve it quickly. She says that the one who killed Rassaid was Robinson Schrager. He was the first one at the cockpit when Rassaid's body was found. He used the shock of his death to quickly grab the device. Robinson said he entered because he was worried about Rassaid. Without real evidence, none of these accusations matter anyways. She says that the commander made the blunder in front of everyone, and she is going to let the Gundam expose this murder. Everyone wonders what she means by this. Talbot is going to hook up Haru to the Gundam to access video logs. Remember previously we discussed that Rassaid was trafficking drugs to Titan's commanders, but the evidence was destroyed, and with his death, it led to nothing. During the battle, he went out to help, so she placed cameras on their mobile suits. She suspected something was up the entire time. After this, he feigned his anger to help dispose of the evidence. But he said the words "closing your eyes" means giving up, no matter the horrors on the battlefield. Those who keep theirs open survive. Robinson slips and shows his true self. Lie, dude. Lie a little longer. Leto says, what if Rassaid wasn't trafficking drugs? What if it was actually Robinson who was running the show? It seems Rassaid was blackmailing Robinson. He had to retrieve the records from Rassaid's room. That is when they ran into Leto. She was also gathering data on Rassaid as he was sexually harassing her. She believes she has enough with the cameras, the logs, and the first-hand evidence of being at the room, and this data collected by the data file to prove that it is Robinson. Leto said, I ain't getting blamed and proving my innocence by finding the killer. Robinson admits that this is all true, but it wasn't him. He says that Rassaid was a parasitic piece of shit that blackmailed his way to the top. In the past, we see Rassaid teasing all the evidence he has on Robinson. He also looks like he is forcing him to look at his nipples. I believe it's Federation standard to have your nipples covered, dude. Robinson says this is all true, but what if I said I didn't kill him? Leto still needs to prove one thing. But Oma, in a wave of fury, lunges at the commander with a knife. She slices at his arm and then goes for the stab. But Robinson parries the knife and does a nice shoulder roll. He grabs the knife and holds it to Oma's throat. He now has a hostage. Okarinu points a gun at him. He throws Oma. No wait, Illuma. Have I been saying that wrong? He throws Illuma at Ocarinu and gets into the Gundam. He says that Ensign Leto is walking a dangerous path. He still denies killing Rassaid. Leto gets into the Pale Rider. The two begin grappling. Pale Rider is no match for the Gundam. She is knocked over. Robinson prepares to stab her with a beam saber. He says if they treat him like a lone wolf, then he will act like it. That is when he hears Rassaid's voice in his head making fun of him for thinking that he is a lone wolf. Imagine a dead guy in your head going, "Hey man, I bet you even wear those wolf with the moon shirts." This stops Robinson. Leto uses this opportunity to whip out the beam javelin and impale the torso. The attack leaves the commander bloodied and beaten. He looks up at Ghost Rassaid, calling him a fool. "Your stupid wolf shirt sucks." Leto gets out and tries to help Robinson. He says to beware of the real werewolf. It isn't him or Rassaid. He says to trust no one before dying a blood loss. They are debriefed over Robinson's final words. Most just think it is a rambling of a dead man. Leto doesn't understand why he would choose to go out of his way if he really were the killer. Why would he not just get rid of the evidence instead of risking being spotted throwing it out in space? Captain Lycus says he was trying to sow dissent amongst them in his final moments. Now that their commander is gone, the captain wants to make Leto the new mobile suit commander. After talking to Leto, she asks of a favor of Ocarinu. Leto is mad because her detective skills got Robinson killed. He was backed into a corner at the expense of saving herself. However, Talbot thanks her, as everyone would have voted for him if not for Leto's evidence. He wonders why she did it. She says it wasn't logical. It was like how new types seemed to feel. It was intuitive, and she felt like he was a good guy. There is some blood on his shoulder. He needs to rest after all of this. Krax Nix is meeting with a man who goes by Vukadlok of a mysterious Ayug envoy. He or she is wearing a mix between a Kamen Rider and Darth Nihilus mask. He tells Krat that the Gundam data they are seeking comes from the Gundam Mark IV, but that is merely appearances. Underneath is a werewolf. Meanwhile, on the Hecate, Talbot laughs menacingly. He is the real werewolf. Leto's intuition was completely wrong, and Talbot plans on using that to his advantage. UC-0085, a forgotten mining resource satellite. Someone is in a petite mobile working on maintenance. They're so poor, this guy can't even afford a normal suit. All of its resources have been stripped, and nothing but a husk remains. At least Luna 2 was repurposed into a military base, but there are many dead asteroids out there like this one. He is doing work for his father who is sick, so he covered his ship. For him, this is the cosmic backwater. Life is a constant struggle, but they get by. He heads home to his sister Lindsay. She asks if he found any Gundam parts. He didn't, but he brought her a gift for her birthday. It is a mobile suit control stick. In her own words, she is very much a Federation mobile suit fangirl. Even though her gift is effectively junk, she loves it nonetheless. She even feels the need to pay him back one day. That's a well-raised kid. Aw, you're gonna kill this kid. While eating dinner, the father mentions that there was an outbreak on Colony 30, Side 1, resulting in millions dead. Of course, this is the Colony 30 incident being covered up as an outbreak. The father thinks that the Federation is probably happy that the Spacenoid population is dwindling. He blames it all on the Zabis and Zeon for stirring up trouble. Lindsay says she will pay back her brother by helping with work. This now turned into her older brother having to teach Lindsay, which is just more work for him. The boy doesn't seem to relate to his father's anger of the past. He lives in the moment, and in that moment, Lindsay is happy. Later, we see brother and sister out in space while the father watches from the control room. Suddenly, an explosion goes off. Something hits some junk, which happened to contain some landmines. This causes Lindsay to get flung out into space. It was a dumb move, but the brother risks his own life to save his sister from drifting off forever. Out in the distance is a squad of mobile suits. It is Rassaid and Robinson. Robinson says, "What the hell, dude? Why are you shooting civilians?" Rassaid says that all Spacenoids are terrorists. Captain Lycus says, "Ugh, this is annoying. Now I guess we gotta kill them." Rassaid and Robinson move in and lay waste to the asteroid, killing the boy's entire family. When he wakes up, he is on the Hecate infirmary with Haru sitting next to him. Haru says, "I know that you hate the Titans and want revenge. I could help you." Haru fabricates documents and a new identity for the boy. He will now go by the name Makuma Talbot. Also, he had black hair until he woke up and he was blonde. Did Haru give Talbot a quick dye job? Talbot isn't even a soldier. He faked his identity simply to get revenge on the Hecate crew. He didn't understand his dad's pain until he lost his entire family and then went, "No, I get it." He has his eyes set on Captain Lycus. But now that Leto is starting to ask questions, he has to focus on killing her next. And that will do it for this episode. Talbot is the true killer. However, Robinson risked his life for not letting a bigger conspiracy spiral out of control. Talbot is using this conspiracy to his advantage, but we, as the reader, still don't exactly know what is going on. Is it some black ops from within Hecate, or is the Gundam truly cursed? Next time, the crew gets their hands on a Barzan. They dock with an asteroid mining base. Talbot saves Leto just like he saved his sister. And we will see the Gazzarello in action. But that will do it for now, new types. Always remember to never trust Hada. Peace.